Hey guys, my name is Counselor Paul, and today we're going to be putting together a wood carryall. This is the kit for the wood carryall with the tools that you guys got. Everybody should have one of these by now because it's going to be really handy to put together this carryall. The first thing you got to do is you got to open this up, and it's usually the hardest thing to do to use the tools. You got to open it up. It's not working here. I want to get my scissors out. And we'll get the scissors out to get the tools out, because we need these tools to put together the carryall. Okay, here we go. Well, still not. Wow, it's pretty impressive, guys. It's going to be tough for you guys to do. Okay, try not to lose any tools when you take them out. Kind of like Christmas. Okay, well, I'm almost there. Alright, so there's Allen keys. You're not going to need those yet. A pair of pliers. A screwdriver. Tape measure. Pair of scissors, which would have been handy a couple minutes ago. Another set of pliers, a hammer, and the screwdriver bits. There we go, and the screwdriver bits. So with all of this stuff, we're going to put together most of your carryall today and most of your crafts this year. So with your new scissors, you can now open up your kit. And just try to make sure that you don't lose anything. This bag is very important. And then what I have here, get the tools out. So these two pieces are the sides. You can see here, you have holes. These holes are bigger than this side. And that hole is going to be on the outside so that the head of the screw gets pushed right in there. It's called a countersink. These ones also have at the ends. So we got two holes here. That's going to go like that. It's going to fall down. This here's your handle. This is your other end and your bottom. In this bag here, you have, let's see if we can open it. Trusty sandpaper, which everybody loves. I know all the cadets I've ever taught, sanding is their favorite thing. Some glue, which will keep it together. And then you got a bunch of screws here. So you have two different size screws. This is a short one. This is a 1-inch number 8 screw. And you got two long ones. And this is a number 6 with a number 8 head. And these are going to be for the handle. So these two long screws you want to keep to the side. You can take your handle, you can stick it right beside the screws. And then you should have 12 of these screws, or maybe some people have 13 or 14, depends on who packed it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take all of your ends and your sides, and you're going to sand them real nice. Because if you sand them nice, then your carryall is going to be nice in the end. So this might take a little while, but it'll be well worth it because you're going to hopefully have this carryall for years to come. So you just want to grab the edges. It's already folded, you can fold it again. Get it a little bit thicker so it doesn't hurt your hand. And you just go on a 45 like this, just getting the corners off. Both corners. And then both corners on every side. And then you're going to do that for all your pieces. That's one. The bottom, you just have to do a little bit because that gets all enclosed. So no edges will be hit with your hands afterwards. I'll give it a nice light sand. That's 2 pieces done. I'll do the other side. Well, actually, this is the first side. So you can see on the outsides, I want to do a really nice job, because that's where my fingers are going to hit. And the ends. Another one done. So this should only take maybe 5-10 minutes. And you can always do a little bit of sanding after if you still don't like it. Once it's all together, you say, oh, it's a little bit rough. See, now I won't get any splinters. You can always touch it up afterwards, but you want to try to get as much done before, because it's a lot easier to sand when it's apart than when it's all together. Because now you can move the pieces however you want. And you just go like this. That's another one. Oh, we have this end to do. That's good. You can put it down, hold it on the table. Now when you're sanding, it's going to give you a little bit of dust, so you probably don't want to do it on your kitchen table unless your parents say it's okay. You don't want to do it on your carpet floor in your bedroom, because that'll be a mess. So you should ask your mom and dad, where's the best place to make a little bit of dust? And if they say, oh, you can use the kitchen table, then maybe you want to put down a piece of cardboard or some paper, blanket, so it's all cleaned up after you're done. Yeah, that's not looking too bad now. And now your handle. So this one you want to probably do the best. So you can even fold it over again, or now I'm going to fold it this way to use some new sandpaper. You really want to get this nice and smooth, because this is where your hand goes on every time you use your carry-on. So you really want to take the corners off. You want to sand the bottom and the top, which are the long sides. This is the bottom and the top. Then you might want to flip your sandpaper over again. Use another area that's not been used yet to sand. Because it's a lot better, it's a lot easier when you use a little bit of new sandpaper rather than all the old stuff. Gets those corners so you don't get any splinters. It's a lot of fun making crafts, or at least I think so. Hopefully you guys do as well. And this year we're going to have some real cool stuff. You guys already made the cadet mask probably last week, or maybe earlier this week. Then we have this craft, and then I'm going to show you a little game that we put together for you guys. And you're going to have to use some of your tools to put that together as well. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. Feels pretty good. Sand a little bit more here where it's sharp, so. Yeah, so that's good. Alright, see? Alright, good. So now we got those pieces done. Check everything, that's all good. This needs a little bit more sanding here. I missed this side, I think. Oh, that's better. Okay, got all the pieces now. So now I'm going to need my screwdriver. I'm going to need my bits. So these are all labeled here. And we're going to look for the S2, which is a square 2-bit, which all these screws will fit. See, this fits so nice. Oh, falls off, but that's okay. We're going to put it in this tool here, the screwdriver. And now we got ourselves a Robertson, number 2 Robertson, which is what you guys are going to need for the whole craft. So ideally, if you have a table that's flat, then when you stick it down like this, it'll stay nice and flat on the bottom. And then we can put the screws in. So the glue you're going to use, just open up the end, check. Oh, I don't know if it's got a cap on it or not. Oh, it's got a cap. Look at that. Alright, so you're going to have to pop off the cap. You can use a pair of scissors, get under there. Maybe your nails can get under. So you'll have to take the cap off so that the glue works. If you keep the cap around, you can put it on after so the bottle will stay fresh. So now you got to remember, you got the big hole and the small hole. The small hole is going to go next to the bottom, and the big hole is where the screw is going to go and the head's going to sink into. That's very important that the big hole matches up to the screw head side. So you're going to start here, just wipe off the dust. Oh, put a little bit of glue on. You can use your finger a little bit. Now I should have got a rag. Oh, I'll have to get a rag. So it's kind of handy because I'm in my shop. I can just grab a rag quickly, but you might want to get one of these ahead of time, or a piece of paper towel, or anything like that that's you can wipe up. So now what you're going to do is you're going to stick this nice and flat. Make sure that this is flush, and you can even hold an end like this so that it lines up. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the first screw in, and you're going to go turn to the right. Now see what's happening is coming apart a little bit. So I gotta loosen it up again. I gotta turn to the left, and then I gotta go in again, and I gotta push a little bit, and now it's grabbing better. So once again, I got a little gap here. So now I gotta take the screw out again. I gotta push it again, and then I'm gonna go once more, tighten it in. Oh, give it a good couple turns. And now it's nice and tight. And that's what you want, a nice and tight joint. At the bottom is good. And then we can start our next side. So that's one end on here. Now we can just go to the side. So once again, we're going to want it flush to the end and flat to the bottom. So we're going to get our glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the sides. Don't need much because otherwise I've got to wipe it off with my finger again. This time I did a better job with the glue. I'm learning. Now this hole here, there's 5 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's got to be at the bottom. So it gets screwed to the bottom of the carry-on. So now we're going to go like this. And this time we're going to start, make sure the big holes are on the outside. We're going to start at the bottom corner here. We're going to start to screw. We're going to be pushing on it a little bit. You might need somebody to hold the other side of the carry-all for you. Brother or sister, mother. So same thing. We got a little bit of a gap here. I'll stand it up like this so you can see. So now I'm going to take it out. I'm going to turn opposite left. I'm going to take the screw out again. Then I'm going to push it in again. And this time it should grab. And it does. And it goes nice and tight. There we go. So it goes nice and tight again. Perfect. So now we're going to keep it flat on the table. And we're going to do the center screw on the bottom. So if you want, you can start it like this. Oh, screw fell. So you can also screw it down like this, which is easy, and you can push. And you just got to make sure that this is flush. You don't want to stick it up, you don't want to stick it down, you want to stick it right flush so it feels smooth. You can push down, and you turn to the right clockwise. That screw went in nice and tight. And then we can put this one in here, So same thing, I'm pushing down now because it's easier. And the carryall is coming together nice. So this one, I got to back up a little bit, and I got to do another try. So get it nice and tight, so that when the glue dries, oh yeah, there we go, nice and tight. So that's good. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're well on our way now. So once again, make sure the big hole's on the way out. We gotta put glue. We're gonna put glue on this side here, and then this goes like this. So we're gonna put a little bit of glue on this side. Well, and then I really like the way it went here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick it down here. I'm gonna make sure that this corner is flush. I'm gonna put the screw in the bottom corner first. Oh, look at that fall. So here we go. So now I'm all the way on the table. It's flush at the bottom. I'm gonna put my first screw in. And we'll see if I gotta back it up or if I can just keep it in. How's that working? Well, that one grabbed nice. Alright, I'm going to leave my top screw out for now. I'm going to put it flat on the table again. And then I'm going to do the end screw here. So if you hang it over the table, then you can use your hand, and your hand just goes round and around. You don't hit your knuckles. So this one here, oh, I'm going to have to take another, I got to back it up again. And put it in again. Oh, this time it's going to grab. There we go, that's going to grab nice. Okay, then I can put this screw in. So when I'm putting this one in here, I can start it. I'm going to take my handle and I'm going to make sure it fits. So now it stays here. Make sure it stays nice and tight in there. And now I can put this screw in because I know my handle fits. Alright, is that good? That worked okay. I'll try to turn it a little tighter. It does. Good. Alright, so we're getting there. So we can take the handle out again. And now this side here, we can do all of it at the same time. A little bit of glue. And the glue really helps because once it dries, it's really strong. And once again, we got to pay attention to this bottom hole. It's got to go for the bottom. So we're going to put this on nicely. Make sure it's flush here. So smooth, smooth. Now we're going to start the corner again. So we're going to start the screw. Make sure it's flush. Make sure it's flush. And now we got to just do, yep, you can feel it hitting a little bit. Turning. Oh, but now pulled up a little bit. You see the gap? I don't know if you guys can see it there. I'm going to take the screw out a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to push again. And there you go. Now it's going to grab nicely. Give it a nice little turn. And then I can do this one. We do the middle one. I start the screw a little bit. I make sure it's flush. And then I start pushing down and turning. Let the screw do the work. This time it grabbed nice and tight there already, so that's good. Alright, now this one here, I'm going to start the screw a little bit. Then I got to make sure it's flush. So if it isn't flush, then I just got to push it down a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see, you can still move it a little bit. So we want it flush. It's good now. We're going to start our screw gun. And see what's happening? It's opening it up a little bit. So I'll show you on the screen here and just back it up a little bit. Then we start again. It opened up a little bit, so we want to take it out again. I'm going to give it one more try. So every time we put the screw in, it makes a little bit of a hole. We take it out, and then it'll grab again. So now we're going to keep it tight. And I think this time it should do it. Now it's nice and tight. That's what you want to see. And this one should stay tight because the screw's in already. So we just start it. And hopefully you guys can see it there. Is it opening up a bit? Yeah, it's opening up a little bit. See, once again, it opens up a bit. So we got to do the same thing. We'll have to go in, take it out a little bit, and then go in again. And this should do the second time. The second time it's nice and tight. Perfect. So for some of you younger guys, you might need your mom or dad or older brother or sister to give you the last couple tighten. Got it really, really tight. You got to turn sometimes really hard, but you guys can do it. Okay, so now there's a little bit of glue in this corner. I'm going to take my rag or my paper towel. Just going to clean that glue out. Look for this corner has a lot of glue. So we're just going to wipe that out. Alright, the outsides look good. No glue on the bottom. Good. Okay, so now this one here, your handle, it's going to go right in between, and you might have to push it and pull it in a bit. And this one here we're going to want flush with the top. So we dry fit it. What dry fitting means is we don't have any glue on it. So we can take it out and there's not glue everywhere. So now we got it all lined up. What we have to do is we have to get our tape measure. And I should have grabbed a pencil. Oh, I'm going to look for a pencil for a second, I'll be back. Alright guys, did you miss me? I found my pencil, so that's good. So now what we want to do is we want to put this handle in. Now what we're going to do is we want to make sure it's in the center. So with this tape measure, we're going to measure from here to here, and it's 4. So we're going to put a little mark at 2 because that's halfway. Then on this piece of wood, you'll see here, it's just about 2. It's actually 18 millimeters wide. So we're going to put a little mark right where half is. And then on this side, we're going to do the same. Put a little mark where half is, so up to 9. And then on this side, once again, it's going to be 2. So now this line and this line are going to line up. Once you see that's lined up, you know it's in the center. So that's what we want. Alright, so we're going to pop this out. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on both sides. A little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here. You can move it around with your finger a bit so it gets glue everywhere on the end. And now we're going to stick it in. So we're going to go one side first, and then the other side, push it in. And it's tight enough that it stays nice and tight, doesn't move. Make sure it's flush. Make sure your lines match up. This line and this line. And now you remember these 2 long screws I talked about earlier? Now these are the ones for the handle. So you can just put it in with your hand a little bit. And now you're just going to screw this in all the way. So these are a little bit longer, so that it's going to hold nicely in the end. So that worked well there. Now we're going to do the other side here. Same thing. So it's opening up a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to go in a little bit, come out a bit. We'll go in a bit, we'll come out a bit. We're just going to make ourselves a little hole. Go in a little bit, go out a little bit. Take your time, it's okay. And then, no, now it's grabbing, so that's good. Yeah, now it's grabbing. Perfect. So you can see on this side, believe it or not, it cracked a little bit. So that's not really what we want. And sometimes that's what happens with wood. But it'll still, so take a little bit of glue And you're going to fill that crack in. You're just going to push it down in the crack. You can wipe it off a bit. You can look at the bottom. Yeah, there's no crack on the bottom, so that's great. I'm going to squeeze it, put a little bit more glue in, push it all the way down, so that when it's dry, it's back together. So we tried our best to make sure everything worked well. But sometimes, this is called plywood. It's got all different plies in it. It's called plywood because they glue it together. Sometimes it'll crack. So that's the carryall. So if you want afterwards, you can check it again, give it a little sand. And then what we want to do is we want to let it dry, especially the handle, because there's only one screw on each side. So we don't want to turn it until the glue dries, and then you can't be able to turn it. Look at this, I got 2 screws left over, so that's good. I can put them in my carryall. I'm going to take my bit out. I'm going to put it back in my bit holder so I don't lose it, because oftentimes if you leave it in, oh, this is stuck now. Oftentimes if you leave it in here and you move it around, you lose it, and then next time you need it, you can't find it anymore. So always put it back in your bit holder, and you can put everything back in. Your glue bottle, you spin it closed, and then there's a bit of glue on the top, so we wipe that off, so next time it's good to use. And if you want, you can even take the lid off, put the cap back in. Make sure the glue stays really nice and wet for next time. So if you put the glue in, the hammer, the Allen keys, the needle nose, the pliers, you can adjust them for bigger and smaller. And I'll put my pencil in there for next time. Oh, my scissors. Don't forget my scissors. And of course my sandpaper. Just shake it off a bit. It's good for next time. You can keep the bag, recycle that, reuse it, and you're all good to go, guys. So that's it. So hopefully this will be yours for a long, long time. Use the tools, and make sure you keep it around, because the next craft we're going to need some of the items from this. And then as we go during the year, there'll be other crafts that need maybe pliers or needle nose. Hammer is going to be used, tape measure. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, you can put the rag in here for next time, and you're all good to go. Talk to you later, guys.